for
Utilities and expenses for next year.
Okay.
Up to that amount, we would.
So the only question I would have about that at this point would be, do you have any idea if the county has committed any money to the State Theater for their? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
And Habitat, the sponsorship was $25,000 on that again this year. Notice they're already started on the second house up there beside the one they just finished. And the last one was the GEO bond projects that we pulled out of the budget. I gave you an outline of them. Is there any questions on any of those?
I thought we were going to take off the crosswalk for Spencer Park. I thought we talked with Chad about doing the thermoplastic lines.
Well, we'll leave it on there and just have him get us an estimate. I mean, these would be, all of these on here, none of them would be approved until we'd write a resolution approving up to this amount, but if it's under 50,000, they have to do 2 for each project. If it's under 50, if it's over 50, they need to get 3. And then we would go off of those estimates to approve it.
And stop grinder is misspelled.
But yeah, I think we talked about being able to do that a whole lot cheaper than what that amount was. Basically, I brought these up just so Tyler and I are going to work on having the resolutions ready for the January 5th meeting so that when they put an invoice in or a sponsorship request, we'll have those on file so they can process them in the clerk's office. Any other questions on the GEO bond aspect of it? Okay.
The ADA improvements, what are they mainly for?
Typically, they did a plan of all their parks for ADA accessibility. So I believe that, I'm not sure what the projects would be, but they'd be projects related to the parks. They had a master plan done of all their parks to bring their parks up to ADA.
But we haven't seen that, but $20,000 isn't going to touch it, but it's just a way to get started with it, BJ. I'm sure it's going to cost a lot of money to get everything up to ADA compliant.
I honestly don't know, but whatever she does, she'll have to bring in the estimates for those. I know she just purchased, or she encumbered some money to buy a drinking fountain, ADA drinking fountain, and it was right at $5,000 for that, so.
And they'll have to get estimates for Bishop Park also?
Yeah,
New fencing and sidewalks?
yep.
All right.
Write the resolution up, it'll have those, it'll say that in there, that they have to have 2 estimates for under 50 and 3 for under 150.
So these are just guesstimates?
Over 50, I should say.
These are just guesstimates for capital improvements.
I'm not crazy about her estimates, though. So that's just me. Okay.
Well, that's why we're getting estimates.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the rental agreement is also something we talked about previously. She didn't have it budgeted. She's got a contract now, and I told her to bring it in. I gave you a copy of it. It's for almost $1,400, and she's asking that Robin can't set it up till after first of the year, but we can have it prepared. She wants to transfer $1,600 into the rental agreement out of her uniform purchasing. So, but
That's
there is no
annually.
line item for it, so
But did you see, BJ, that number is annually?
That's just to rent this stuff, correct?
that's for all their uniforms and
The rental.
rental and stuff, yeah.
For the whole year.
Yep.
Then they have to pay $35 for delivery every time, which at the end of 5 years is close to over $9,000.
Paying $35 above and beyond?
It says on the.
I did talk to her about that today, and she said that that's in there, but they're also doing, like out front here where they have the rugs and stuff, and she's got another line item like we do out here in the city building when you come in. They come and change them out every week and stuff. She's got another agreement she's doing with them, and it'll absorb both of these into that one agreement, the $35. Because I called her up and I said, at $35, Jan, that's going to take all your clothing allowance there wouldn't be anything left for the other employees and her things that she had intended to still buy. So I saw that, yeah, if it were just for the uniforms, she'd be spending about $3,200 just to have them brought back and forth as they clean them and replace them.
For 5 years.
No, that's just for next year.
It's,
She does it weekly. It's $35 every time they come.
Oh, it's weekly?
Yeah.
Oh, I was doing that monthly. Oh. So it just says per delivery, so I was doing monthly. I got you. My number was way lower than yours. My number was way lower than yours. Honestly, I thought that was monthly, so it's weekly. Oh, there it goes to say
$1,500
which
for
make.
Pairs of jeans, do you think they're getting?
11?
Well, I thought it was a lot. Okay.
Just be a transfer of funds from one line item to another. Everybody all right with moving that along?
Yes.
All right, the last thing is trash, good old trash. I apologize, I didn't get this stuff put together quickly
So
enough to
you said you
email
were
it
gonna
to
send it
you.
to us, but you didn't.
We're not gonna make any decision today, but we gotta get started on talking about it.
You promised me an email and I didn't get it.
I don't have anything.
Scold me
I
now.
might just put it over to the council packet.
Had a 4-year-old kid die yesterday.
They're our friends of the Republic.
Oh, no, that's your.
Since I'm not paying money, I don't know.
Oh, no. Sorry, Kelly.
We moved on with someone else.
Exactly.
Dave, if you want one of these, I'll email it to everybody, but I can get it together.
Sure you will.
We'll go through it real quick. Our old ordinance runs out the end of the year. Everyone knows we signed a contract with GFL, and they are now LRS. But we'll start with the front page there. If you look at it, those are the totals that our trash will cost for the next 5 years there. 2020, this coming year, it's $1,293,904, and you can see it progresses up. I think it's about a 3.5% increase each year. So the question becomes, how do we fund it? I've put together several proposals. What we've done in the past, if you look up above there, in the past, we've paid the trash fee using host funds in January and February of every year. And then March through December, we use the trash fund, which is the fees we collect from residents. If you go to the next page, you'll see we budgeted, we over budgeted both trash fund and the host fund for 2026 so that we could sort out what we wanted to do here. So we funded, in the host fund, we funded up to three months, and in the trash fund, we funded up to 11 months out of there. If you add those numbers up, they won't coincide with the 1,200. Well, they won't coincide because the contracts run November to the end of October of each year. So you got two different rates within that year when you look at the fees that we pay. So if you go to the next page, this was the first proposal I put together. See at the top the amount that we have to pay, but then on the other side, down below there, as you total it up, The host fund in this proposal would pay for it the first 3 months of the year. The trash fund would pay for it the last 9 months each year. Now, this is something we talked about, and I put it on here for everyone to consider. With all the trouble we had this year with trash, there had been talk about possibly having a holiday month. So I built that into 2026 where we could have a month at the start of the year where we would take the trash fee off of the bill for 1 month. That's why when you see total revenue or the trash fees collected, it's only projected at around $1 million in '26 if we skipped a month. If you did that, at the end of the month, we'd have about $256,000 left in the trash fund.
Everybody's bill
I
on.
would just
on
talk to
1 month?
Harold about taking it off the bill for 1 month, where they wouldn't have to pay a trash fee. We had talked about that because of all the problems that we'd had and stuff, so I'm putting it out on the table for everyone to consider.
How much is that?
$15 is what the trash fund, or trash fee is per month for a resident. Anyway, the first proposal is laid out like that, where we could pay out of the host fund 3 months and out of the trash fund the other 9. And if we did that, I did it 2 ways. I know it'll confuse you, but see where the asterisk is in the 26? That's showing it, that would be our balance if we had a free month in there where no one had to pay their trash fee for a month.
Still have $256,000.
Yeah, if we put it back in, if we added it back in, we get around $90,000 a month in trash fees. If we put it back in, the balance would be $346. That's why I put that number there. So, and then basically it's the same pattern all the way through there, and you'd see at the end of the month, depending on what we decided in 2026, at the end of the contract, we'd either have, down at the bottom there, $292,000 at the end of the contract, or we'd have $382.
So every year you want to give them a 1
No,
month
it's-
break?
No, the 90,000 is just what that number would have been if we had added it in at the first month. It's not a break every year. It's just the first year they get, because of all the problems we
We don't
had.
do it
Yeah, but here it is here.
This is what it would be the difference,
No, I
all
understand
based off
that.
of this number here.
But okay, so you're just saying you only want to do it for 1 year in
Yes.
2026?
We do it at the start of '26, as, we'd have to stage it to where we could work it in. It'd either maybe be like February, somewhere around there, March, I don't know. Depending on working with Harold and getting everything passed if we proposed it.
Think people will recognize that? $15?
James here, he'll get the word out if we pass it. It was something we had talked about,
Yeah, I know we talked about it, I don't know. If we're gonna do it, I mean, I want people to know you're doing it. So
I
we take
agree.
out a $2,000 ad.
Okay. Proposal 2 is simply set up basically about like we do it now. We'd pay 2 months out of the host fee, 10 out of the trash fund. It still has the 1 month waiver in there. And if we did it that way, we'd end up, but with this proposal, we'd have to use general fund money also to end up with any money left in our kitties at the end of 5 years. And if you look at column down there where it says transfer funds from the general fund to the trash fund, the amount I had originally put in there was $578,903. And what that would do is it would get us to the same balance after 2030 that we have now. But in reality, we wouldn't have to put that much in there. We could put as little as $328,000 in there and still have a positive flow all the way through 5 years. And I would just say that the $1,080,000 that's in there is a conservative estimate on what we collect. It's typically about right around 1,100,000. So the number, I played it safe, basically. I didn't want us to run into issues along the way. Proposal 3 would be to use the host fund for 2 months, but propose a 50-cent rate increase every year of the 5 years. So it would start out at $15.50 in 2026 and work its way up to $17.50 in 2030. And the balance at the end of, projected balance at the end of that 5 years would be $233,000 in the trash fund. And the last one is one where we wouldn't raise it at all in 2026, but then in 27 through 2030, we'd raise it $1 a year. So it start at $16.
$1 a month.
Yeah, $1 a month, I'm sorry. In 2027, it'd be $16 a month, and it'd go to $19 a month by 2030. And we'd end up with $434,000 in the trash fund. A couple things to think about, and like I said, I just wanted to get it out there today, give people time to think about different approaches. Using the host fund is kind of a risky fund because there's no guarantee on the amount that we'll get there. Last year, we got about $650,000 in the host fund. But some of that's dependent on what WSP does out there. They're always looking for ways to not have to dump some of their residual in there. If they come up with a remedy for that, it could reduce that number. And if we're not careful, the next contract with the rates, if we maintain them, which I'm not saying we shouldn't, the next time we had a contract come around, the rate increase might be fairly dramatic, depending.
Because now you're dealing with a company that you didn't even negotiate with.
Pardon?
You're going to be dealing with a trash company that we didn't even negotiate with to get these numbers, and now you're going to have a whole new company that you're working for.
So there's some unknowns in there. Currently, the host fund has a decent amount of money in it, but, we're also looking, when we first signed the contract for trash, we didn't know what our financial impact was going to be with the new tax laws, but we got to think ahead to that too in 2028. So what I had hoped to do today was just get some numbers out there. If you have questions, we can talk. Otherwise, I wanted to just plan a finance meeting before our next council meeting where people would have time to have an opinion on which way they want to go, and we can figure out if we use a plan where we raise the fees, we'll have to advertise. Is that correct, Kelly?
Sorry, I was reading another old ordinance.
Didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just asking, if we raise the trash fee, we would have to advertise ahead of time, correct?
I think we have to on that.
Yeah. So there would be a month or two delay maybe before we'd start that. I'm not saying we can't do it. There's just a longer process if we impact it that way, which is one of the reasons I thought we might leave it the same the first year if we consider raising it and then start raising it up. Any questions off the top of your heads?
I guess my question would be, so we're talking about increasing 50 cents, and then in 2026, 50 cents, or possibly $1, but aren't we also going to increase our utility bills based on, I forget, is it sewer that we're paying for and we have to increase the utility bills coming up for that also?
The only increase
Yeah.
currently for next year is stormwater, I believe.
Okay,
And then the electric changes that we made, but I believe the electric change for the resident is just 50 cents each month.
okay. 50 cents for,
Stormwater change is about $5 a month
I was gonna,
increase.
I was gonna say, I remembered $5 a month.
Yeah.
So we're gonna, already in 2026, we're increasing people's bills by $5. And so now we're talking about increasing their bills, by 50 cents or $1, based on trash. And don't get me wrong, trash is expensive. Like, you just have to get used to the idea of paying for trash. And we've done a really nice job in Logansport, not me, but Dave, and has done a nice job of making it so that people haven't been hit with trash fees like you so could be. So trash is expensive, stormwater is expensive, but I don't know. I just think we should do whatever is best so that everyone gets the best service they can possibly get for the least amount of money. That's what I think we should do. So you can decide that, Dave.
Well, like I said, this is just information for today. I didn't expect anybody to make a decision today, but like I said, I'd like to schedule finance right before our next council meeting to discuss it again. And
When you have to do a notification if you're going to increase fees, doesn't that also include a public hearing? Okay.
guys? It's 5:56. I'll call the finance meeting to a close.
Good evening. It is Monday, December 15th, 2025. I'm Mayor Chris Martin calling to order the special session of the Logansport Common Council. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
BJ Cox.
Present.
Chris Howard.
Present.
Cameron Austin.
Present.
Haley Zinsmaster.
What's that?
Scott Peady.
Present.
Susie Walmsley.
Present?
Dave Morris.
We'll start with the approval of minutes for the December 1st, 2025 meeting.
Motion.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call first question.
Dave Morris.
Yes.
Susie Walmsley.
Yes.
Scott Peady.
Yes.
Haley Zinsmaster,
Yes.
Cameron Austin,
Yes.
Chris Howard,
Yes.
BJ Cox.
Yes.
Reports from committees, boards, and commissions.
We had a Finance Committee meeting tonight, December the 15th. Discuss the insurance premiums for 2026, which is on tonight's agenda. Discuss the multicultural festival sponsorship, the state theater support, Habitat for Humanity sponsorship, the 2026 GEO bond projects, Parks Department uniform rental contract, and trash payments for 2026.
Any other reports from committees, boards, and commissions? All right, seeing none, we'll start with old business. Resolution 2025-160. Councilman P.
Resolution 2025-160, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, setting the holiday schedule in accordance with the Employee Policy Handbook. Mr. Mayor, I ask for a vote on Resolution 2025-160, please.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call, oh, sorry. Sorry, Lorian.
Orion, you got a gizmo there?
Musical chairs.
I am here on Hannah's behalf. She's ill. She has a proposal for 15 dates to match our current schedule. I have copies of each one of the schedules she has proposed. I can give those to you. The dates that she has proposed for the 2026 schedule are Tuesday, November 3rd, which is Election Day, Friday, January 2nd, which is the day after New Year's, and December 31st. To be added, sorry. And this is 15.
You're asking.
She's saying pick one of these.
Yes, I believe so, because right now, as it stands, there are 14 days, which last year, council decided to replace our 3 floating holidays with 3 federal holidays, and she would like to match that. I'm really slow with this, you guys.
Share one, thank you.
It was also that last year Christmas, or this, Christmas is going to be on a Thursday, so we said have off Friday. And that would just depend on how Christmas falls every year. So that wasn't a federal holiday.
Oh, we're sharing.
Yeah, you're right, that's us.
I'm sorry, Haley, I didn't hear what you said.
Christmas falls on a Thursday this year, so we had said, so we gave them off Thursday and Friday, so they didn't have to come back to work Friday. But since Christmas next year is on Friday, it just depends how Christmas falls, what days would be off.
Right, because they had on their original calendar that they wanted the following Monday off,
Right,
and we said no to that.
Correct.
Okay.
I think she went around and basically asked the departments what their consensus was among their employees, and she gave them a set of dates. And she also compared us to other cities and counties and what their holiday schedule is. We're in an HR group, and they send a spreadsheet every year of each county and city's holidays, just to kind of see where we all line up. And for the most part, all of our, what we have now matches, with the exception of those 3.
Have 15.
That's what we had this year in order to match it. I just found out from county that they've got 18, and I'm like, wow, okay.
Had a lot last year, too.
Yeah.
Yes, if I was going to pick one, I would pick January 2nd would make the most sense, because I would assume people would just take that day off
And honestly,
instead of going to work one day.
I've seen a lot of PTOs and a lot of people are taking that day off already. They're putting them in already.
So create a 4-day weekend. So it wouldn't matter if you took December 31st or January 2nd, right? December 31st, January, well, this can't be right.
This says Thursday.
This
Well,
can't be
the
right.
December 31st is the 31st of 2026, not this year. I don't know if that's
It's
the
next year.
confusing thing.
That's
And
next year's.
January
Thursday.
2nd would be
This
like
year.
in a couple of days.
Yeah.
But December 31st on this calendar proposal is at the end of next year.
At the end of next year, I
Yes.
see. So what is the top pick of the employees, do you know?
I'm not sure, but I know that she said that these three were the most common among the city and counties.
I'd just say a few words about the street department. Because leaf season occurs in November, and we've already got 3 days off in November for Veterans Day and for Thanksgiving. We'd prefer if it was the January 2nd or December 31st. Because otherwise, we're going to probably have to work Sunday. Well, yeah, it'd be-
Haley, which one did you say you would pick?
I thought the most sense would be Friday, January 2nd, just because then it would be, they would work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then be off Thursday, Friday.
that makes most sense.
I honestly, either one of the holidays, either it's New Year's or Christmas, from a payroll's perspective, most people take their time at the end of the year anyway. So it would just roll over. And if they've got an extra day, they're gonna use a PTO day if they've already got it saved too. So either one of them.
The road was on at the switch.
Say?
4 days in a row with down at the switch.
Christmas, we've got 5 days in a row.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
That's really true.
At least in fire.
We have people on working.
I'll make a motion to amend the holiday schedule and add Friday, January 2nd.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call for question on the amendment to Resolution 2025-160 reflecting January 2nd as a holiday.
Who seconded that, sorry?
Susie?
Susie seconded that. Scott Peady,
Yes.
Haley Zinsmaster,
Yes.
Susie Wamsley,
Yes?
Dave Morris,
Yes.
Chris Howard,
Yes.
Cameron Austin, BJ Cox.
A motion to vote on Resolution 2025-160 with the amendment.
So moved. Second.
Call for question.
BJ Cox,
No.
Cameron Austin. Chris Howard,
Yes.
Dave Morris,
Yes.
Susie Wamsley, Haley Zinsmaster,
Yes.
Scott Peady.
Yes.
Resolution 2025-160 passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Resolution 2025-161, Councilwoman Zinsmaster.
Resolution 2025-161, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, selecting a council president and standing committees for the years 2026 and 2027, as well as other council appointments. And I would ask for a vote on Resolution 2025-161.
Second.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, we had left this with the redevelopment commission appointment left blank and the Logansport that we have to appoint to. I sent out a recommendation to the council for Dwayne Olam to fill the redevelopment commission position, and I'd like to amend the resolution to reflect that. And the Board of Zoning Appeals, we had Jeff Key, who's currently going off, and what's the other name, BJ?
I have a gentleman named Tom Howell would like to be on the board.
Sorry, who is that?
Tom Howell, he works in small parts. He graduated from Lewis, small parts, 33 years. He works days. And, oh yeah, and he would love to be on one of the boards.
Dave, who was your name?
He's been on the BZA for quite a while.
So your person would replace Jeff Key, is that what you're recommending?
Yes.
Okay.
For the record source.
Jeff Key. Redevelopment is Dwayne Olam, and he's been doing their work as a secretary.
We did check to make sure there wasn't any conflict with him being paid to be the secretary, and there is no conflict with that.
I don't know, BJ, I don't know your person, and did you
Bill.
ask him to come to the meeting tonight?
I was told not to bring him here in case we voted no on him.
Oh. Okay.
I look at it, you know, I've gone to quite a few of the meetings there, and the way I believe about it is that you and you and you and myself and Haley, we're doing this because we want to change something. And they have the same old committees doing this and this and this, and it's time to get new blood in there, and I think he'd do a fantastic job.
What's his name?
Tom Howell.
And how old is he?
You had to ask me that again.
What else does he do on a committee that would show that he would be?
55.
Okay, and so what else does he do that shows that he would be a person that would replace somebody who's been doing this for a while?
Just worked at small parts for 33 years. He's taking care of his kids, and, you know, single dad, he does this and that, and he would like to see change in the city.
I'm not opposed. If we want to try somebody new, if Tom Howell would like to do it and no one else is opposed to it, I know
Southsider.
Jeff was kind of back and forth about staying on, and, you know, I said, well, just tell me what you want to do, and finally he said, yeah, he'd stay on. So, you know, I don't have any issues. If we want to try to let somebody get some new blood in there, that's fine.
And I think that when you have somebody that comes in new, you know, everybody always comes in with good ideas and, you know, paying attention and, yeah. So I'm not opposed to it. I don't know the person, but I'm not opposed to it if you recommend him.
At the end, we'll go with Tom.
He's a grass mower, too. He's what? There's a lot of grass.
Just opened up a dog walking business, too.
Take it all back.
I don't know how mowing grass has anything to do with it, but okay. Yeah.
All the zoning stuff as he's mowing, he's taking it all in.
Oh, yeah, okay, I got you. I don't do any mowing, so there we go.
Do I have a motion to amend Resolution 2025-161 to reflect Dwayne Olam as the redevelopment commission pick and Logansport Board of Zoning Appeals Tom Howell as their pick?
Second.
Call for question.
Cameron Austin,
Yes.
Dave Morris,
Yes.
Chris Howard,
Yes.
BJ Cox,
Yes.
Scott Peady,
Yes.
Haley Zinsmaster,
Yes.
Susie Wamsley.
Now, do I have a motion to vote on Resolution 2025-161?
Second.
Question? Sorry.
Susie Wamsley,
Yes,
Haley Zinsmaster,
Yes.
Scott Petey,
Yes.
BJ Cox,
Yes.
Chris Howard,
Yes.
Dave Morris,
Yes.
Cameron Austin.
Yes.
Resolution 2025-161 passes. Ordinance 2025-42, Councilman Cox.
Ordinance 2025-42, an ordinance of the City of Logansport, Indiana, approving the City of Logansport sewer use. Mr. Mayor, I ask for a reading on ordinance 2025-42, second reading, please.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call for question.
Susie Wamsley,
Yes.
Haley Zinsmaster,
Yes.
Cameron Austin, BJ Cox,
Yes.
Chris Howard,
Yes.
Scott Petey,
Yes.
Dave Morris.
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-42 passes on its second reading. Ordinance 2025-43, Councilman Austin.
2025-43, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, consolidating portions of prior ordinances and establishing this single ordinance with provisions for the handling and disposal of garbage, trash, yard waste, and recycling, and establishing procedures including fines and penalties for the enforcement of this ordinance. Mr. Mayor, ask for a vote on the second reading of ordinance 2025-43.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call for question.
Chris Howard,
Yes.
Susie Wamsley,
Yes.
BJ Cox,
Yes.
Scott Petey,
Yes.
Dave Morris,
Yes.
Haley Zinsmaster,
Yes.
Cameron Austin.
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-43 passes on its second reading. Ordinance 2025-44, Councilman Morris.
Ordinance 2025-44, an ordinance providing for the inspection, cleanup, repair, abatement, or removal of unsafe buildings and/or premises within the City of Logansport. Mr. Mayor, I'd ask for a vote on ordinance 2025-44.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call for question.
Dave Morris,
Yes.
Cameron Austin,
Yes.
Susie Wamsley,
Yes.
Scott Petey,
Yes.
BJ Cox,
Yes.
Chris Howard,
Yes.
Haley Zinsmaster.
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-44 passes on its second reading. Ordinance 2025-45, Councilman Howard.
Ordinance 2025-45, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, amending ordinance 2023-02 regarding vacant properties. Mr. Mayor, I ask for a second reading on ordinance 2025-45.
Second.
Any further discussion?
Just, did all of the letters got sent out to the people that this was going to?
Yeah, we had about 7 or 8 that it got sent to.
And have you heard anything? Okay.
I voted no on this last time. I think the registration fees are way too high for anybody owning a building downtown. I know it's, if they own it and they're going to do something with it, I understand that. And I know we want people to building these things and have more businesses. But forking out $3,000 and $6,000 and $9,000 after the third year on, if you don't have something going, it's a lot of money.
It's an incentive for you to get something going on, or sell and let someone else do something.
Still.
They base it on what other cities do for their ordinances too. And Logan's Landing does their, like the downtown thing, and the Main Street program, and they use the Main Street program from other cities to make the ordinance.
They put a lot of work in, all three of these ordinances that we're passing right now, there's been a lot of work done on this by other people, and I'm really happy that we're, getting the trash ordinance. I know that was a lot of work for Randy, and doing the vacant buildings. This is a lot of work for these people, BJ, and they're,
I understand that, but it's still a lot and everything. I know there's vacant buildings downtown, and there's vacant buildings all over city, and nothing's been done to them in years.
well, that's the purpose of doing this, is to try to
It's been
move it.
done for years, and no one's done anything then, but still. So,
Sometimes when you make progress, it just includes higher fees and stiffer fines, and that's what all three of these are. Like this is just trying to improve what
I
we're doing
understand
in
that,
the city.
yeah. Because there's a house across from my house, been there for 30 years, nothing. and then the house on Biddle is falling down, I'm ready for those guys to go in there and clean it up and get rid of it. So, yeah, I understand. Yeah, it's good.
Any further discussion? Call for question.
Haley Sinsmaster,
Yes.
Scott Petey,
Yes.
Dave Morris,
Yes.
BJ Cox, Chris Howard,
Yes.
Susie Wamsley,
Yes.
Cameron Austin.
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-45 passes on its second reading. On to new business, ordinance 2025-46. Councilwoman Wamsley.
Ordinance 2025-46, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, authorizing employee and retiree contributions for health insurance for 2026 and amending and replacing ordinance 2024-31. I move for a vote on ordinance 2025-46.
Second.
Any further discussion?
Yes, I'd like to request that we suspend the rules on ordinance 2025-46 and pass it on first reading so that we can have these in effect for the January 1st payroll.
Second.
Call for question. On suspension of rules, sorry.
BJ Cox,
Yes.
Dave Morris,
Yes.
Cameron Austin,
Yes.
Susie Wamsley,
Yes.
Scott Petey,
Yes.
Haley Zinsmaster,
Yes.
Chris Howard.
Yes.
Rules are suspended for ordinance 2025-46. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Question.
Chris Howard,
Yes.
Haley Zinsmaster,
Yes.
Scott Petey,
Yes.
Susie Wamsley,
Yes.
Cameron Austin,
Yes.
Dave Morris,
Yes.
BJ Cox.
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-46 passes on the suspension of rules. Any public comments? Anyone in the audience who would like to make a comment, please come to the microphone, state your name and address for us. Seeing none, any council member comments?
I have one. I just wanted to thank Public Safety, City Fire, and all the other entities for the good things that you did this weekend with the Toys for Kids. I think that was outstanding. I appreciate the efforts of all you guys for doing that.
I received a call from one of my constituents, lives up at 2715 East Broadway. He's having some trouble with white-tailed deer coming through his yard, damaging fences, eating shrubbery and flowers, etc. He said they're passing through his residence. He saw him on 2715 is right across the street from Cass County Tire. He said he's seen him running across Market Street. I went down to the police station and talked with Assistant Chief Nate Garrison, and he confirmed that it is a problem in the city. We discussed ways to C-cell that, compound bows. We discussed the dangers of shooting those in city limits. He mentioned if you shoot and you miss, where's that arrow going to go, at Mach 5 speed. If it deflects off something, it might hit a car or somebody. I contacted DNR biologist. He also said that he's getting a lot of calls from Logansport on the same issue from residents. I've got deer in my yard. Some deterrents he mentioned were electrical fences, audio alarms, flashing lights, motion detectors. They usually don't work. You got to move them around because the deer get used to them. He suggested that this might come to pass, a closed hunt in areas with deer populations that are getting full. He used a reference of Riverside Park. The closed hunts, we hire professional hunters when they need to be paid. And they have to go they got to be scheduled within deer hunting seasons, which is January or October 1st through the second week in January. I think something needs to be done. I hate to see a closed hunt where we kill deer. The human population is increasing on the deer habitat, and 1 or 2 deer are fine, but when they reproduce and there's 10, 12 deer, the food supply gets short and they come into the city limits and eat bushes, stuff like that.
And the neighbors feed them, and then they stay.
That, we need to have an issue. If there's not an ordinance already, I will look for that. I didn't have time to look for the ordinance. If there's one, there needs to be something that says it's against the law to feed them to start out with. The biologist also said involuntary feeding, such as bird feeders. I've had a deer in my yard at 3 in the morning eating the seeds that the birds knocked out. They're hungry animals. Their food supply is dwindling. Any ideas from the council, suggestions, cares, comments? I'd like to hear them.
Ever talk to Keith about this?
Yeah, I know that Keith, our animal control officer, he looked into this a while back for me. He had talked to the DNR. Now, the DNR didn't, I don't think they mentioned the closed hunts to him. But, you've hit on the major issue. The biggest issue we have is there is an overabundance of them. But I have a child that lives on the east end of town, and their neighbor feeds them. And there's one, I don't know if they still do, but there was a house on Roselawn where the guy even had a sign in his yard that he was feeding the deer.
He's moved from there. That's not up anymore.
But that is a big part of the issue is the fact that people are feeding them. They're going to come in on their own to look for food, but, once they know it's in the same spot every day, it's a simple.
I can see at least 10 deer during the summertime walking across the river from my deck on the wall to a residence on High Street. I'm assuming is feeding them, and then they come back, and they're over in the River Bluff Trail area. I think something needs to be done. First of all, an issue for a warning. Just get it out in the air, paper, social media, radio, that you're not supposed to be feeding them. It's going to be hard to stop them. But like you said, once they discover a food source, they're coming back. And this gentleman, they jump over this wrought iron fence. He's afraid they're going to become entangled and lay there, and he's going to find a dead one hooked to his fence. It's tragic to see an animal die that way, and plus to have to clean it up. So I'll be trying to work on this, and I told this gentleman I'd get back with him as to any ideas that I had, but if you have any suggestions or comments, cares, please let me know.
I took some notes down, so I'll contact some of the mayors that are similar in population, have maybe a wooded area around the city, see what they're seeing. I know Plymouth was one of them. The mayor and I have talked about it, about the deer populations in our community, so, yep.
Little darlings.
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Any other members? Oh, sorry, Scott. Okay. Oh, did you have a comment? Yep, come on up.
Kevin Crazy, 15 Frederick. Initially, deer moved into the city because the county's crowded. You've got to talk to county. County's got to have a hunt. That's going to open up space. And then it's a twofold problem. You need to stop feeding them within the city. But if they have open hunting grounds, feeding grounds, now being made available because of the county hunt, I think eventually they'll dissipate out. As far as the no feeding the deer, that would be wonderful if you could apply that to cats.
Sure will.
Okay, because I'm not sure which one we have more of a problem of. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out. I think you need to talk to the county too and get some, because out there you can have a hunt, you can have it safe. You don't have all these factors like you were discussing there, about ricochets and travel distance and making sure that you got a clean line of sight, when you're firing or discharging. So, just something to think about.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
I had spoke with Hannah with HR, and she said there's a few people still having problems with the time clock situation, and I believe it's still being, misused here and there, but she's working on that. And then I had a couple guys approach me, I'm going to say it anyway, once again, about with Scott Jones. January 3rd becomes 9 years that the city's been dealing with this. So Any good news or bad news or?
It's in the hands of the Court of Appeals.
So, but they were, they commented on this where, when we did Dave, if you remember, they did the 10 firefighter buyout, and those guys got so much money for leaving the city, leaving the department so they could keep the younger guys. But then they had a lawsuit involved with it because the mayor at that time did not want to pay everything they agreed with. And then from there, it went to where they had to go to court and they had to get their own lawyer. The judge ruled that the money that they should have received, they more or less said that's so much percent for so much time they did get the money, they were compensated. So likelihood, Scott Jones could be compensated for 6 years instead of the 3 or more.
Court of Appeals won't take that long.
Okay. I mean, it's just,
I can't guarantee what they'll do.
just
but
as much long as it's been going on, so,
6 or 7 of them were already in the books before we got involved in the case, saying, no, we're not going to pay the money for, and some of the statutes, as you read those, you can't even pay a guy that's been convicted when he's off like that. But that's the one of the interpretations that we're fighting about, so.
he was convicted of the misdemeanor, but acquitted of the felony, so, yeah. That's it.
Any other council member comments?
It was a public safety misdemeanor.
All right. Miscellaneous business and any matters not already considered, including section 504 compliance or concerns. Seeing none, do I have a motion to adjourn? Question?
Chris Howard,
Yes.
Haley Zinsmaster,
Yes.
BJ Cox,
Yes.
Scott Peady,
Yes.
Dave Morris,
Yes.
Cameron Austin,
Yes.
Susie Wamsley.
Yes.
We are adjourned. Have a great night.